Hi, this is Fredrik from Parasite Studio. I have just released a few new DIY projects, the Higgs particle phaser, the phase-locked fuzz, and the bat air fuzz, that I will talk about in this video. If you want to listen to how these pedals sound, check out the video demos on my YouTube channel. So first off, we have the Higgs particle phaser. Here's my first prototype, and here's the final version. It has rate, resonance, and a depth switch. Here you can see the circuit board. It's a fairly easy build. It is a CMOS-based phaser. It started with a question: can I use CMOS shift registers to create a time delay? And the short answer is yes, at least enough to get some phase shifting going. So this circuit has an ADC that turns the analog signal into a digital 1-bit stream of ones and zeros, and those get shifted down through 384 shift register stages. It has a high-frequency oscillator that clocks both the ADC and the shift registers, and the frequency of the clock is modulated by a triangle wave LFO. The modulated signal then gets turned back into an analog signal through a low-pass filter and blended with the clean signal. And so you have the clean signal with a fixed phase, and on top of that you have the modulated signal with a phase that varies. So depending on the phase relationship, you get certain frequencies that cancel out and gives you the typical phaser effect sound. So I consider this pedal a bit of a proof of concept. I just wanted to try to do something a bit differently. It's certainly not the best way to design a phaser. It's a bit noisy, a bit lo-fi, and it draws a lot of current, but it works surprisingly well. It's named after one of our dogs. His name is Higgs. That's him. And he's of course named after the Higgs boson particle. So, but overall I think this project turned out pretty nice. Alright. Next up we have the phase-locked fuzz. This is also a fairly simple build. It just has a few more knobs and switches. It is a guitar synth that started as a personal challenge. I wanted to see if I could design a guitar synth based on a phase lock loop without using a dedicated IC like the CD4046. So this circuit has all the building blocks of a phase lock loop, like the phase comparator, the low pass filter, and the voltage controlled oscillator, but it uses ordinary op-amps and transistors instead. So it has a phase lock loop VCO that is a sawtooth output instead of a square wave. And here you can switch between saw and square. And in square mode you can control the pulse width. It also has two types of vibrato, one continuously and one that is triggered. The tracking control is similar to what you find on the Into the Unknown and the Reagan Youth, and it also controls the rate of the vibrato. You can blend between a straight fuzz and oscillator or a disorder output, and that's an output from the phase comparator that puts out the difference between the oscillator and the input, and it can create some really chaotic sounds when you turn the tracking up. Yep, so not much more to say about this one. I think it turned out quite fun. Last up we have the bat air fuzz, a very simple one-knob fuzz. It only has a volume knob. It's very few components on this build, so it's very simple, a good beginner project. It's based on the CD4007, and it starves one of the MOSFETs to create a symmetrical wavefolding. And here you can see the resulting output wave shape, where I got the name from, since I think it kind of reminded me of Batman's ears. It sounds pretty mean, similar to an octave up fuzz, but it also cleans up pretty well with the guitar volume. Yeah, so those are all the new DIY projects. I hope that you find these pedals interesting. Alright, until next time.